Huh?
No.
Why you right grand though? You know why? So, do you know anything about UFC?
No.
No.
I don't know anything.
What do you know?
I do know they're promoting this one fight, and now it's not happening.
Hmm.
And it was Jake Paul and that Mike Tyson guy.
Oh, please.
And like they kept showing videos of them fighting, like, and prepping each other, and then now it's not happening
Please.
because Mike Tyson got sick apparently.
I just personally believe two people. First off, Jake Paul is like, how old is Jake Paul? Like 27?
I have no idea.
He's like 27, 28.
Mhm.
He might be younger than that. He might actually be 26, but I think he's around 26, 28.
Yeah.
Tyson is what? Oh, cool 58, 57.
Yep. That'll mean he don't have no moves.
Okay.
But you know,
No,
Grandpa can still have it.
no comment.
Grandpa can still have it.
Mm.
Grandpa can still have his moves.
I just don't think that it's a fight anybody wants to see. We shouldn't be seeing it. I mean, there's a reason why the fight was pulled. You know, age is definitely a thing when it comes to competitiveness, physically competitive things. I'll say it like that. But for the most part, you know, he could do what he want, but I thought it was a bad fight. I actually thought you were talking about the McGregor versus Chandler fight. I was like, how you know about that?
No, I don't know about that.
I was gonna say maybe somewhere along the way it popped up, but maybe not.
Yep.
And that's all you know?
That's all I know.
That was a boxing fight.
Oh, that's
Where you
cool.
came across that at on TikTok?
Yes.
Oh.
Somehow it ended up on my page, and I kept showing people.
Mhm.
That's all I know.
Yeah,
I know that too.
I understand.
I know that too.
Well, I mean, let me see. So, where do I even start with this? You recapping UFC 302. Um, there's a lot of topics to get into, but some of them are not interesting. Some of them are. But I guess we should start with, I guess my first thing would be, should Dustin retire? And I think that's going to be a no. Actually, you know what? No, I changed my mind. I think that's a yes. I think he should retire from the simple standpoint of Dustin is, I believe, 35. And so he's fought for the title. Let's see, he fought for it with Habib, now Islam, and he was the interim champion at one particular point in time. So as far as should he retire, I would probably say yeah, because the climb is going to be a lot, right? He already fought a younger guy in Sarukin, knocked him out. I hope. Oh no! I'm sorry. That was Benoit Saint Denis. That was not Armand Sarukin. That was Benoit Saint Denis. Sometimes I get people confused, even though I don't get them confused. Like I'm looking at the name, at their name and visualizing the wrong person. Anyway, Benoit Saint Denis was knocked out by DP, but it's like that climb again to the mountain. How far would he have to go? I think the matchup for a contender spot probably could be Justin Gaethje versus Dustin Poirier, just because both of them are coming off of losses at this point. Gaethje lost the BMF to Holloway in spectacular fashion, and then you got DP, who didn't get knocked out, but he did get submitted by Islam. So, and then you got to be willing. You got to look at it from Islam's perspective too. I don't know if he would necessarily want to fight Dustin again, with it being like he's shown, how can I say this? He's shown a willingness to not fight people twice in a row, with the exception of Volk. Other than that, he's not really willing to fight two people in a row. So let's see. It's going to be a heck of a climb for him to get back up. He knows what he's going to have to do. He's going to have to go through like a lot of young lions, so to speak. And to make that climb all the way back again, I don't necessarily know if that's something you want to do. So, and again, you don't necessarily want to, you want to go out on top. You don't want to necessarily be like Tony Ferguson, with all due respect. It's like he's getting knocked out, he's losing all over the place. In my opinion, Tony probably should have been retired after the Gaethje fight, and because he didn't, you know, nobody wants to end up like that, really. Because if Tony Ferguson wants to get a title, he's got a hell of a climb, man. He's got a hell of a climb to get back to the contender ranks. So, you want to retire, you don't want the sport to retire you. And so because of that, I think Dustin probably should retire. He fought his best. You heard him in the press conferences and things even leading up to the fight. Would he fight? Sure. Is he going to? Probably not. He's got businesses. He's got kids. He's been fighting since he was, what, 18? You know, he's got money. He's got things. He's good. So I think this is it for Dustin. So with that being said, let's see. Islam had a little bit of adversity in that fight. It just seems like if they can't, I don't know about Khabib, because Khabib finished early in his career. But when it comes to Islam, he's a bit more, he can be caught, is what I'm trying to say. Like he's willing to feed more into his emotions than Khabib is, right? Like Khabib will slowly wear on you and drain you until he gets the submission or the finish or a TK or whatever he was looking for. Islam is a little bit more, I do agree with, I forget who that was talking about, Islam. I forget what his name was, but I do agree. I think Islam is more skilled than Khabib. And just because you're more skilled doesn't necessarily make you better. But definitely more skilled, but he's also willing to take more risk because he does have more skill. He's definitely a better striker than Khabib. So even if you say the wrestling isn't the same, he's definitely much better striker. So, but with that being said, he showed some vulnerability. This is kind of like twice, because everybody knows that the Dagestani wrestlers are like revered. Like once they get their wrestling up, it's like really hard to beat them. So, he showed some vulnerability, really. He did that in the first time they fought with Volk. That was the first time, like everybody, including myself, actually had Volk winning that first fight. I don't necessarily think Islam did enough on the ground. Yeah, he took him down, but you know, just sitting there on a guy's back, but you're not doing anything, doesn't really mean much. No diddy. But I'm just saying. So yeah, he was able to take him down, but he wasn't able to do much with that position once he got him down. And Volk kind of had his way with him on the feet. So I don't know how he won that, but I think the judges need to start taking into account what it means for people to get up, right? Look at those clouds, right? Jeez. It always wants to rain when I decide to come and work out. So, or at least get a walk in. I won't say work out, get a walk in. But anyway, where was I at? I was talking about
Someone getting taken down.
Oh, right. So anyway, Islam, we're getting back to him. Very impressive performance. He fought through some adversity. but he showed a little bit of vulnerability as well. And I think maybe it was Eddie Alvarez. I think he's right. Like if you take some of these guys to the fifth and the fourth rounds, they get gassed. And because it's exhausting trying to continuously take someone down who's defending very well. But we also got to put in perspective of this too. He was actually facing Poirier, who already faced Khabib one time. And because of that, you could see, maybe he's been hitting the wrestling a lot more, but you could see his wrestling was a lot better. And Khabib and Islam had a hard time taking him down. So, but Islam showed very good striking too as well. And it's just different. He's definitely evolving as a fighter. So, I will say that was probably fight of the night for sure. For sure, that one was fight of the night. It was way more entertaining. And so, with that being said, we transition to Sean Strickland versus Paulo Costa. And that fight was very much so a snooze fest. I don't know what's going on with Costa. His fighting style has been different ever since he fought Izzy. I think Rogan was right on that. Before the Izzy fight, Paulo was pretty much like, I mean, he was, I feel like Costa before Izzy was coming to do damage. Like he was going to try to get you up against the fence. He was going to try to throw big hooks to the body, to the head. He was going to throw uppercuts. Like he just had a lot of power. He seemed to possess a lot of power, especially when he was fighting Yoel Romero. So after that, though, he kind of, once he fought Izzy, he kind of changed. And that's the problem with some of these guys, because everybody cannot be Israel Adesanya. It just is what it is. And so I didn't really like that fight. It was not as good, for sure. You kind of had Strickland doing a little bit of the Philly shell, walking forward, doing the teep, you know, kicking you in the chest, pushing you back. And, you know, some people don't like the way Sean fights. That's how he fights, you know. He doesn't really, he's not going to open himself up that much. He is a very calculated fighter. And you can tell it the way that he's analyzing you and walking towards you, right? So that's the way Sean Strickland fights. And you know, it is very effective. You can't really say it's not effective, because he did beat Izzy with that style, who beat Costa. So yeah, that was not a good fight. I know Paulo came out with an apology and was talking about how he was going to you know, bring back the old version of himself and try to, you know, reignite some of that stuff with the fighting, the way that he used to fight. And I hope it's not too late for him. But his last, you know what? I will say this though. He did do well, because maybe I'm falling victim a little bit to prisoners of the moment. Because actually when he fought Robert Whittaker, that fight actually wasn't boring. And that was just his last fight. I mean, he had kicked Whittaker and it was like, he was almost out of there. He almost knocked out Whittaker with a head kick. So I guess I do have to give him a little bit of props, but from that fight, I don't really count the Luke Rockhold fight. I mean, Luke Rockhold gave it everything he had. Very impressive. A lot of determination, a lot of will, you know. Very good fight, but I think if you take Luke Rockhold maybe 2 or 3 years back and he fights Paulo, I think he does beat him. But again, it's the age, you know, catches up. So let's let's go ahead and transition to Kevin Holland. And I forget the man's arm, the arm. I forget the man's name of the arm that appeared that he broke. Um, I didn't really get the premise of that because it's like, no, I didn't tap. I didn't tap. So the fight should still be going. But I don't know. It's subjective, right? Because I don't know. I feel like, I'm gonna go back and do my research, but I think there was a fight where John actually either dislocated his arm or broke his arm, and he kept fighting. I think he just hit it. I think he hit it. And I think this guy didn't do a good job of hiding it, but I think John hid his. I forget who he was fighting, but he fought him with one arm, really. Um, but yeah, so Kevin Holland, man, good showing. Um, Kevin Holland is one of those guys I kind of feel bad for because, when you look at Kevin Holland, he's fought some beasts, right? He's fought Hamzat. He's fought, which, by the way, that Hamzat fight, no way. That Hamzat fight was not fair. Kevin, like when Kevin came out to do the handshake up top, to get it going, get the fight going, this man literally went for the takedown, shot takedown, and took him down. So I feel like that fight kind of wasn't fair, to be honest. So with that being said, man, 302 was could have been better. In all honesty, could have been better. But what can you do, really? It's up to the fighters to go out there and perform. And disappointing in Paulo for sure. But it's up to them to get out there and get the job done and do some things and show that they can be versatile and just show people what they're made of, really. So they did not do a good job of that, with the exception of the main event. Main event did very well. So I guess what's next for Strickland is he's already said that he's willing to sit out for as long as it takes for him to get a rematch. It's kind of funny because I thought he was just a guy who wanted to fight. He didn't really care about the title, but he wants a shot at the title. And I'm not really sure. I don't think that Dricus du Plessis really beat him. I think Sean actually won that fight. Dricus showed a lot of energy, but Dricus also took a lot of shots, man. So, I know that's Sean's style and Dricus comes forward, but man, that was not a good showing on his part. I felt like he did get beat. So, but it doesn't matter because he's a champ. So, let's see. I think that might be it. So, not too much to recap there, unfortunately. Not really it wasn't like UFC 300 was like, every fight was like on and going, like everybody was trying to get that, I forget, what was it, 300,000 bonus? So they were all like laying it out there on the line for it. But yeah, 303, not that great. Very disappointed in Costa. Kevin Holland always comes to fight, but his opponent was game. He just got caught. But with ligaments and things like that, I would always say, if you get caught in something like that, you should probably just tap. It's not worth your arm being broken, or it's not worth tearing your Achilles because somebody has you in a heel hook. Or maybe something with your knee. Like, it's just not worth it at the end of the day. Just tap. You got caught, bad position. Live to fight another day. I mean, a choke, you're fine. A choke, you can fight it. If you go to sleep, you wake up. Yes, it is. That's fine. But anything with ligaments, no. Let it go. You got caught. It is what it is. So anyway, I'm pretty sure that guy will have extensive surgeries and probably a lengthy medical suspension for him to come back. So hopefully he does well. We'll see what he does when he comes back. But I don't know. I'm not sure what's next for Kevin Holland. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I'd be interested to see him. I want him to be a contender for the title because I feel like he's got good energy and things like that. But we'll see. So, but I think the next title fight for middleweight that they're trying to make is probably Izzy versus Duplessis. So we'll see if that happens. We'll see if somebody gets injured and there's not a interim fight. So yeah, we'll see, and we'll see about UFC 303, McGregor versus Chandler. We'll see if that does anything. It's almost McGregor versus Chandler is a fight I kind of don't understand. There's not much reward. Chandler's been sitting out for a while, so it's not like he was a contender since Dustin beat him one time before. Way back when. I think that's the last time Chandler fought, actually. Think about that, how crazy that is. The last time Chandler fought was Dustin. Dustin has fought what? He's fought, how many times has he fought since then? He's fought Gaethje. He's fought Benoit Saint Denis. He's now fought Islam. I want to say there was one more fight that he had before that, but I'm not really sure. But it's just crazy the time that Dustin has fought and the amount of time that Chandler's been waiting for McGregor, who is like, Conor always possesses that energy to draw an audience, but man, to sit around and wait for Conor for 3 years, I don't know. I hope it's worth it. I still don't really see what we're fighting for. If McGregor beats Chandler, that doesn't put him in title contention, in my opinion, because Chandler wasn't in title contention. So you beat Chandler, that's great, but what does that do for you, right? I can't really say. I mean, Chandler fought Ferguson, knocked him out, and then right after that he fought Poirier, and he lost, like, to Poirier. So yeah, that doesn't really do anything. But I guarantee you, if Conor wins, what he'll be asking for is a title fight, which is crazy. I like Conor, but there's such thing that's called like respect and skipping the line. But at the same time, I understand the UFC is a business, so they're gonna make the money moves. If you make them money, they're gonna put you on. And I can't necessarily disagree with that, because if you make money, why not put you on, right? You could put on the respectful fights, and it might be boring and people might not watch it, and then your sales start to decline, your bottom line starts to decline. Who wants that? So at the end of the day, it's all about marketing. They're a machine, they're a corporation at the end of the day. So we all understand that it's business. So that's just a fight for the fans, I feel like. Not really a fight for rankings, because I don't see McGregor climbing up to face Islam unless it's for business. So we'll leave that there. And I haven't seen the card. I don't think it's too stacked. So we'll see. But I gotta check out some more of the women's division as far as they fights, because I haven't seen a women's main event title card since probably, I think it was Amanda Nunes. I think she was the last one to do that. So yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see what's up with her. Brandon, what you got in here, man? Now, Conor ain't retired. Conor is he probably should retire, but he's not retired. So You been here too. My bad, brother. I've been ranting for about 10 minutes. Listen, I'm fat. I'm walking. It's hot. I'm sweating. I don't want to do this, man, but I got to get in shape. It's not easy being fat, man. All them cookies and donuts and stuff, you know, they come back in a bad way. But yeah, Connor probably should retire, but he'll keep on going, man, knowing him. So, whew, I'm glad this walk is just about over. You not fat, you just out of shape. Nope, it's pretty close to the same. You know,
Like saying you just big boned.
yeah, when you look at fat, you know, they don't have no shape. It takes the form of every jar. That's me. So, you just put it all in like some Crisco oil and you can cook it with bacon. That's me. I'm fat. So I got to get rid of some of this stuff, man. And I'm sweating like crazy, really. So, but yeah, man, that's my recap. I guess for UFC 302. I'm dying out here. It's hot. And it's cloudy. Look. It's cloudy. Ain't even like, the sun ain't even out. And yet I'm about to die. I'm over here gasping for air, about to die. The food was worth it though. Now it's not. Anyway, Brandon, I appreciate you for tuning in, brother. Hopefully I'll be back home in a minute, a little bit. I got a meeting to go to, and then I'll hop in Discord and join back in. But yes, sir, I appreciate you. But anyway, I'm out of here, man.